my face. Before I even start this message, let's give you a little recap since of August. So I've talked about this in the channel before. I was like, it seems like somebody didn't want me to even talk about the scenario because there was this theme of abusers abusing people and then not wanting them to speak out. God forbid on my life. Now, visually looking at my face, you would think someone assaulted me, right? It's actually acne. Also, you can go look at the when I did a video on TikTok in regards to, I was talking about the Haitian community because I've grown up with Haitians. I know a lot of Haitians. I befriended Haitians, and I have no problem with Haitians. However, what I've realized, just and from experience of befriending Haitian women, is that because there's a correlation within different minorities and a certain age group, older age group of women in regards to them raising children, in regards to, you know, emotional incest and amongst other things where I've seen women raise children. I'm going to talk specifically about Haitian women, and I did a theory video on TikTok in regards to when you see stuff like this. Yeah, when you see stuff like this happen to your face, mind you, I'm not Haitian. When you see stuff like this happen to a Haitian woman's face, is because like usually their mother figure or somebody in their family or maternal zodiac or embodiment is doing, you know, love work, spell work on the females in the family because, you know, they're insecure themselves, etc., etc. I only know this because I've seen something similar happen in you know, from my culture being African. So I know it's very much a thing. Now, you see this acne in the middle of my head? You would think it's kind of like an inside joke in regards to like Hinduism, etc., right? So let's recap to July. I believe it was the 23rd. I had an ex-lover who's a Virgo, and he would be doing things behind the scenes that I would not know about. He'd be saying things behind the scenes that I would not know about. And howsoever, you know, I still tried to show compassion to that person. But that person would put me in like these very compromising scenarios previously in regards to like my reputation. That was one of the main reasons I did not I'm the type person who I don't come out to the general public about who I date because I know the type of person I am. I know what I attract. I attract good things, great things. But at the same time, I know there are very envious people. So I wanted to be sure about this person. And I didn't necessarily, you know, bring our previous relationship to the forefront. He insisted in doing collaboration and partnership with things. All right. So a lot of the stuff in regard to the previous partnership, you know, I tolerated because it was something new because I never really dated somebody in my career field in regards to music. Now, this person knew I was a spiritualist. This person knew I was into esoteric knowledge. This person knew my Christian background, but this person knew but didn't really know or was too prideful to acknowledge because that Leo fifth house is something serious in regards to narcissism or egotism, whichever he decides. Well, he says narcissism. Anywho, so my ex lover, the Virgo, invited me um, within the same week of July 23rd to meet his acquaintances like outside of his career. I'm thinking, you know, in regards to a romantic partnership. Previously, you know, this was like a big deal because he never really brought me around his friends. It usually be like work related, career related. So, you know, I'm trying to put my best foot forward in regards to that. No pun intended. So what happened was I realized, you know, being intuitive, he allowed me to meet his best friend, who's a Capricorn, and then her friend who's a Taurus. So if you know, I'm a Taurus. So anywho's, no shade, anywho's. Um I knew meeting that Taurus female friend that he suggested was his friend was going to be like almost to like a mirror of, because like if you're in partnership romantically with somebody and they bring people around you and be like, these are good people, these are your friends. I'm not saying they're good or bad, whatever the case may be, but for this particular scenario in regards to dating, especially if the friends are a similar zodiac sign to you or prominent placement, it's almost like a mirror in the sense of like how you're viewed. Now, the Taurus woman, we didn't share the same beliefs in sexuality. And that's a conversation that me and this previous lover were having for a while, because this person wanted me to act in polygamous acts, and I refuse because that's not of my moral conscience, which even led me to even write a book in regards of how polygamy is actually illegal in the United States of America. And he also thought that was a joke. Um, but what I noticed about the Taurus woman that was the friend of this man that I previously dated, thank you. I just need to heal this acne up, and it's about to happen after this message. I promise you, it's been healing up for the previous week. Thank you so much, because this message is about to get good. Because I didn't even know I was gonna do this message. It's about to get real good. So I'm doing a general story time before I get to the message, because the story needs to be said so you can fully understand. So what I noticed about the Taurus woman that was his friend, that's supposed to be like that married to me, very nice, very kind, um, a lot of characteristics similar to myself. So I'm like, all right. But what I learned is that that wasn't his friend. That is somebody, a friend of a friend. That was somebody he didn't know that well. That's something brought, and that almost like an inside joke, because he knew at that time we had discussions of um, him wanting to be polygamous, have an open relationship, and I wasn't having that. But he never worded it like I want to be in a polygamous relationship. He asked the question, and then he did some very previously like intentional things that made me question the relationship previously. But neither here or there. Now back to this bestie. The bestie is a Capricorn, one of my prominent placements. So I knew the Capricorn was going to give me the information I needed. The Capricorn tells me, you know, the Capricorn, this best friend, mind you, best friend was prepped before she met me. You know, men gonna cheat. Yeah, you know, they like to be out there, this and third. You're talking to somebody who don't believe in that nonsense. It there you can be able to be in a relationship and cheating doesn't happen. You can be in a marriage, not saying that we were married, but you can be in a marriage and you can never argue with your partner. I believe those things are possible. Whatever is brainwashing these people to think that cheating is all right, being polygamous is all right, to each his own, you know. Messages came, said almost here. I'm telling you. Now, I told the best friend that was the Capricorn, when she insinuated that the man I previously was dating was basically cheating. I told her if he ever stepped out of the partnership, the relationship at the time, because it was fairly new to everyone else. If he stepped out of the relationship, I would leave him. She got so offended that I said that, she got up and she left. Now, her friend was the other Taurus woman. She got up and left the Taurus woman that was her friend, knowing that she didn't have no right to go nowhere. Now, I can say a lot of things as to, I can say a lot of things from that encounter with that man I dated, his best friend. Not generally about her, but I'm not going to hold you. When I was younger, more naive, and men used to like want to portray the side woman role and make it seem like that was all right. I lived both sides. All right, I've been the woman in somebody's life. I've been the other lady. I will know that was when I was young and in my adolescence, not in my young adult age. All right. So I have matured to know that being the side woman is not cool. Now I'm not saying the woman is a side woman, but I'm saying I don't know if she was being groomed that way or whatever the case may be, because like I can get into it, but that has nothing to do with this message. I'm giving you context so you know where I'm coming from. Now, that was one day. So in that same day after the woman left, there was another friend in the group but they weren't friends. This one particular friend, she was a Gemini. She was not friends with the other two ladies. All right. So because I already had met the other two ladies a day before, 2 days before at another event, I was kind of looking at this other woman, the Gemini, another prominent placement of mine. I was kind of looking at this Gemini like, who is she? Like, she's very pretty. She seems all right. Like, but my partner at the time previously never mentioned her ever before, just like he never mentioned that best friend ever in any conversation. So I'm like, something is not right. But, you know, we was in a work environment, so I'm just like, mind you, the Gemini had nothing to do with the work environment, the female. So I'm just like, all right, what's going on? So we were having conversation early in the day, and everybody was saying what schools they had went to, how everybody knows each other. The Gemini woman, who supposedly my ex-lover's friend, was very much quiet, very much isolated to themselves. Me, as the person that I am, I don't, if you're somebody's friend, especially a friend of somebody I'm dating previously, I would want to include you in the festivities, the activities, and so on and so forth. So I'm like, you know, don't be to yourself. I'm trying to cheer her up. I'm trying to include her. God forbid on my life now. Long story short, you know, um, unfortunately, one of my ex-lovers colleagues had did something very abusive to me, and even when I tried to speak out about that, they didn't really much like that. I don't give a fuck. Now what happened was the abuser had came into the room, and I wasn't talking to him at that point because, you know, I took a vow of silence towards that man because, you know, he did something abusive to me. So fast forward, the abuser came and was like, hey, you know, I see everybody partying, having fun. I wasn't invited, so let's go to the club. So nobody wanted to go to the club, but some way, somehow, my partner was convinced. My previous partner was convinced to go to the club with this man. Everybody, once my ex partner was like, "Yeah, let's go to the club," everybody was in the greens. I didn't want to be the Debbie Downer. I didn't want to. I should have used my discernment in that moment and been like, "I'm just going home." But there was this mysterious, attractive lady. No shade, not jealous, nothing like that. It's like I didn't get down. I didn't get my answer as to who this woman was. So I'm like, I'm not gonna leave my man with this mysterious woman that nobody's giving me any insight into who she is. Y'all going to the club? I'm going to the club too. Cause we were ready. Anywho's. So before we went to the club, everybody had left out of a specific room, and it was just me and the mysterious Gemini woman there. Um, so I instead of I already she had did something really weird. She had like I thought it was like maybe big sis or big bro type vibes. She was getting like real, trying to be really affectionate with my partner. Mind you, only certain people knew that we were dating previously. So like not knowing this woman name number was brought up, nothing. While I was dating this person, I'm just like, she over here trying to lay her head on this man's shoulder and stuff like that. Mind you, this the my favorite part of the story. Earlier in the conversation, she was like, ah, ha ha ha, he he. Do you know last time when I came to you, talking to my previous ex partner, mind you, talking about event, some sort of scenario where I was nowhere around. She's like, ha ha ha. Do you know last time I left, you almost got into a car accident? That's what the Gemini woman, the I didn't know who this mysterious woman was, and I'm just like, and you still came back to that man to hang out. You lack discernment. So I'm just like, who is this woman? So instead of becoming belligerent, instead of being, you know, hostile, instead of looking like that insecure woman, I say, you know what? I'm gonna wait for an exact moment where nobody else is around, so she don't feel offended, so she don't feel intimidated, so she don't think I'm doing this to, I don't know. Like I was just like, I just knew like I could not talk to this woman in front of everybody. I just didn't know why. So I pulled it to the side. I'm like, hey, you know, like how long? I didn't say nothing disrespectful. I said, yeah, hey, how long you've known such and such? Talking about my ex lover. Her immediate response, who do you think you are? In that moment, God then expressed to me that don't mind her. She's actually being possessed right now, and there's nothing that you did or said wrong. She's under possession, and this is not even her natural state. Like, she's being used by the enemy as a vessel. So I'm just taking them. I'm like, but not in all actuality. If I'm dating somebody, I'm not saying violence is the answer, but if I'm dating somebody and then a woman comes and tries to intrude, become a third party. If a woman knows that you're dating somebody or doesn't know you're dating somebody, and you come to her and be like, "Hey, that's my man," or something like that, and I didn't even come like that. You have all right if somebody comes like that to do what you gotta do. But God already spoke to me in that moment, like, she's under possession. Leave her alone. So as soon as God said that to me, my ex lover, the Virgo man, he had came and like he was like, no, grabbed me, took me out of the room, took me out of the environment. He said, "This is not happening. She's not gonna put hands on you," basically. As a man should do. So I'll give you kudos for that to a certain extent. Now, fast forward, I told the woman I didn't want to fight her. Um, Back in the day, when in my adolescence, I would not be able to do such a thing really. But I would, let me not say never, but like, knowing what I know now, like, and who I am as a person, I like, honestly, if any other person was in my scenario previously in that month of July, on July 23rd, I believe, you would have willingly fought that person. Now, just by how they were acting. Now, I told the person I didn't want to fight them. I told them, like, I was explained. I even went. I didn't mean it, mind you. I didn't mean it at all. But I started apologizing to the person. I said, if you feel offended by what I said, that's not how it meant to come off. X, Y, and Z, A, B, C. The person then just started assaulting me. The woman just started assaulting me previously, and I was so mad in that moment. I was so mad at how the scenario played out, and I never understood it. Howsoever, with the prominent placements I have, being a spiritualist, being a cultist, also, with my birth chart and everything like that, there's like, I'm gonna give you two narrations of this. Um, there's certain people you can't like do malicious stuff to. All right, there are certain people on this earth you cannot do malicious stuff to. Um, so when she physically had put her hands on me after I literally told her I wasn't going to fight her, I knew, regardless of how that assault went, that things are not going to be good for her. Being a Taurus embodiment, ruler of finances and judgment, I was upset for her. I'm just like, this don't know what she did. Like, I already knew her funds was about to be low as soon as she had first assaulted me. I was just like, wow. Nobody told, like, and then, like, it was so interesting because not everyone, but majority of everybody in the environment that was there knows I'm a spiritualist. So I'm like, so nobody told this person. Nobody told this person. All right. I say this to say I only brought up this story because so I went to go do what I do. So I'm like, because the situation didn't make sense, the argument didn't make sense. Me apologizing to her and her still being upset didn't make sense. God telling me he was possessed, and I never met her a day in my life for her to be that mad at me. I understand sometimes like the enemy can't handle the spirit of God within people. I understand that, but I never provoked her. Even if she was a witch, you got to do something to a witch for them to, So I'm like, nothing is making sense. So I look. So my ex lover, the Virgo, decided to be funny. Yeah, he's gonna do some shit. He decided to be funny and tagged me in the post with me and that same woman. Um, Months later, after we hadn't been speaking. What would possess my ex lover to tag me and this Gemini unknown possessed woman in a post after we had not been speaking for various months? So, and it was nothing but God, because like literally, I believe God had woke me up from my nap. I got online, 2 minutes after I had got online, that's when I seen my previous ex lover had tagged me in the post, and I immediately untagged myself. And I think that even made him feel some type of way because I think he was trying to be funny. Now, guess who's back? Back again. All right, Autumn in the comment section. Howsoever, I didn't even know you was here. You watch all my lives? Oh, God bless you. Now, well, I hope you listen to this one because it's about to get real good. You can rewind it, listen to the beginning part if you want to. Um, so basically, I've been stopped talking to my ex lover, the Virgo man, and I just realized how malicious he was. But I never. It's like for everything that happened while I was dating that guy, it's like, but with everything that happened, it's like it's no reason for me to even ask God why is he like this. I just kind of took. I didn't take it out because I actually got blessed through the partnership. I ain't even gonna hold you. I got blessed in different areas in regards to my career. Howsoever, in the romantic aspect, it's just not. It's not happened. It's never happened there. I don't care. Um. So what happened was, so after, all right, so in between time, in between July and August. So now when the all right, so to clarify, when the woman assaulted me on July 23rd, the Gemini female friend of my ex lover who's the Virgo, right? It's so interesting because she assaulted me and I didn't have no bruise, no scars from her. She didn't black no eye. My face was perfectly fine. Like we was on the floor touching a little bit previously. That was about it. I looked perfectly fine. I was still beautiful. I was healing from, you know, perhaps some sort of betrayal from my ex lover. Because why would you have me in a scenario with a person like that? Even though he did try to not let us have that altercation, but it was like, you should know better. You should know better. So, and I actually seen him in the month of August. I even apologized to that man because the day that the assault happened was supposed to be a very special day for the both of us in regards to our career. He had an album release. He had we had did a collaboration. We were supposed to go to that club to celebrate. So when he didn't contact me, now this the funny thing. Soon as that situation happened, I was like, I ain't playing no game, going right back to church. So I went right back to church. Then like the next day I went to church. Cause it was like the morning of, so that same day I went to church. I went to church. I had got a ride back home. On the ride back home, I see my Virgo ex lover like literally across the street from my home, looking down to the distance of where I live, looking sad. The next day, mind you, he did not contact me. He was just standing at a distance from my home, looking towards my way, looking sad, not knowing I had just got back from church. The real Virgo embodiment. I had just got back from church, watching him watch me from a distance. So the next day, the tourist friend that he invited that I said was kind of cool, she messaged me like, hey, have you spoke to so-and-so? Because I was telling him he was wrong for this and wrong for that, this, and the third, and he got mad at me. That's what the tourist woman was saying. So I didn't want to feel foolish, and I also didn't want her all up in my business. So I'm like, yeah, I seen him. I was telling the truth, but I didn't tell the full truth. I said, yeah, I did see him. He had came by my house the other day. That's why I said previously. She's like, all right, good, cool, whatever it may be. And that man did not speak to me at all. I think like 3 days had went by, 3 or 4 days I went by, and I decided to give him a call. I gave him a call right after the altercation. After seeing him nearby my house, looking to the distance, looking sad, I decided to call him and apologize. I'm like, listen, because that's just the type of person I am. Even though I did not start the altercation, even though I was not a willing participant of the altercation, I was like, you know what? I apologize because that was supposed to be a special day for you and your album release. I'm sorry that had to happen to you on that day. Meanwhile, whole time I was the one that was assaulted. God forbid on my life. So he never apologized. He made it about himself. He was like, I don't even want to think about that stuff. It just make me feel some type of way. That's what he was saying. He never was like, I'm sorry that happened to you. He never said, I'm sorry my friend did that. In fact, he didn't even call that woman his friend. He said that girl. Now, if you know that girl reference, if you ever heard a man be like, yeah, I'm going to go see the lady. So I'm just like, that girl. He's like, yeah, that girl. He was trying to make me feel as though she is not as important as you. That is true. Howsoever, that girl you invited and told everybody that was your friend? Fuck out of here. Now, like I said, I didn't speak to him for months. Now, we had a project that we had to do together. We had collaborated with a few people. So he wasn't speaking to me, so I didn't know what was going on with that project. Also, I had to watch him online collaborate with other people, and then one of his good collaborators came and did a promotional project with him. And this is where we get into the message. This is where we get into the message. And God said I could talk about this because the reason why my face is about to heal up is because of what I'm about to say. So my ex-lover, the Virgo, he has a business partnership with Wyclef Jean. He your op now? Thank you. Assemble. Excuse me, God. God forbid, no negativity on my life. But nah. So my Virgo previous ex lover has a business partnership with Wyclef Jean. If I don't know if you guys know who Wyclef Jean is. Wyclef Jean is somebody that I've heard about in regards to the music industry, but I never like listened to his music for real. I probably knew like one song or so, maybe. And Wyclef Jean was in his video, and to me, like, even when I met this ex-lover, and even though I know he was in the music industry for about like 10 plus years or so, 10 years or so, I never looked, I've never been, I always say I never am going to fangirl over somebody because they're a celebrity of any sort. I might admire them. I might feel like I can learn something for them, but you'll never be like, oh my god, oh my god, you'll never see me do that over no celebrity. I promise you. I promise you. So I think even in that, when I first met him, originally, he kind of felt some type of way about that. So like when we first started dating, he felt like he had to up the ante in a sense, like he had to make sure he looked like a big shot, or he was doing something. I'm not saying necessarily he wasn't, but he would go to certain extremes to make it seem like, you know, he was a good person and do certain things. I don't think he's a good person overall. He might have some good characteristics. No, I don't think he's a good person overall. Now, because that I don't, no, because I don't want to bring his best friend into this situation because like it's just like it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant now. Because some things I could say on her behalf to justify her, but this is not her message. Now, so I think he was working with Wyclef Jean. He incorporated this other female in regards to my career field that had literally nothing to do with me. Like, because what was going on while I was dating him is like they would try. I'm saying they, him, my abuser. They would try to put women up against me, so we would have false competition to generate business for their business, and then try to get more females to kind of. Yeah, he did not deserve me, and you know, sometimes, not a lot of times, I'm karma in people's lives, especially with dating. And sometimes what I realize, God will bring me previously towards people in regards to relationships and dating as karma, as that one final last chance before God gotta do what he gotta do to them people every time. Every time. I promise you. Like, if I told you what he was going through while dating me and afterwards, you would not be surprised. Now, And I'm not gonna put him full on blast because this message is not necessarily about him to a certain extent. Now, I seen he was working with Wyclef John, and I was just like, all right, good for. I'm always the person, you doing good for yourself, regardless on with you or not, regardless of the situation. It's like, all right, like congratulations, you're doing good. Now I ain't necessarily say that after everything was going on. To a certain extent, I'm like, I told him, in your endeavors, I wish you good. If you're not wishing me good, I take it back. You know what I'm saying? But like, I seen that scenario and like, um, as a spiritualist now, this Virgo man, had told his best friend, the Capricorn, that like he's not into spirituality and nothing like that. The whole time I know he's like low key like a voodoo man. Like the man is Haitian. Not saying all Haitians do voodoo, but like the man is Haitian. You're in the music industry. I've seen like one of the reasons why I blocked him originally before starting dating him, because there was a period of time where I blocked him for 3 years on social media because I saw him doing candle work on his page. Now, before I even get to the message, so a few weeks ago, I had a vision, not even a dream, a vision. I had woke up early in the morning. I had a vision where I saw a colorful candle, the rainbow candles in the glass, and the rainbow candle in the glass, and it was put on a wooden floor that had like witchcraft symbolism on the floor. When it be drawn all that black art stuff on the floor. I don't really know what to call it. I seen that, and the person put the candle in the middle. Now, right before I had that vision, um, I had came across. He kept uploading like I'm not gonna even put him on blast, but he kept uploading old content that he used to do, and he had this one song called Illuminati. Now, it's so ironic because like if this man really wanted to get into Illuminati so bad, he then lost all chances by like doing what he did to me. But we neither here nor there. So he had a song named Illuminati. In the Illuminati song, he had put I believe it's a bottle of Parmesan in the middle of like this wooden floor with witchcraft symbolism and black art symbolism on the floor. That is a correlation to how we even started dating, because what I found out after the fact, after everything had happened, is that he uses that Illuminati video to manifest women, to use women in any type of ritual in regards to his career, using that reference I used in regards to his Illuminati video, and he's not in Illuminati. And essentially, he practically cursed himself by that Illuminati video because he doesn't understand what platform this is. Anywho's, and I only know that because I've literally seen a tarot reader do it to herself. Go listen to the previous Tarot Land message. Well, the second to last previous Tarot Land message. You know what I'm talking about. Anywho's, so I'm just like, all right. That was like, I was like, all right. I really can't fuck with this nigga now. I can't be supportive of him. Nothing. Even though it was so many reasons as to me not having to. Like, it was so many people who came to me on my own behalf to be like, stop dealing with this person. There's people who came to me be like, this person is doing this, that, and third. There's people coming towards me saying this person is this kind of person, his own the abuser. You are a very interesting person when somebody's own abuser comes to them and be like, yes, that person is not shit. You got to be an interesting kind of individual. God forbid my life. Now, why did I bring up Wyclef Jean, right? So I noticed Wyclef Jean was in his video, and I didn't think nothing of it, but he kept asking me randomly at first, like for a while, even before he did a video with Wyclef Jean, the promotional video over the summertime, to keep posting Wyclef Jean's video, reposting it and stuff like that. And every time I would repost it, I would get like this weird feeling in my discernment, like something wasn't right. And then like when I would repost the video with Wyclef Jean, or Wyclef Jean would give him like a promotional shout out or something like that, it's like voodoo started to be in effect previously, and I'm like, oh no. So I would immediately delete the reposts and stuff like that. And every time he asked me to repost something in regards to Wyclef Jean, I just immediately would not. And that even made him upset that I wasn't reposting his promotional content in regards to Wycliffe John, but I don't care. So because when my discernment was like something's not right, it's not right. I don't have to do it. It's not by force. So this message was curated today, Sunday, December 14th, 2025 at 5:02 p.m. in regards to a Leo Sagittarius zodiac embodiment in regards to undoing enemies. God says trust your intuition in regards to protection, significant changes, mostly in regards to your dream life. God, very significant in regards to this message because God gave me the all right to do this message. This is in regards to your value and your self worth, in regards to your 12th house, fourth house, fifth house, and second house placements. How you express yourself to make money is very significant to this message. Candle magic, very significant. I already spoke about it. The two previous encounters in regards to that, and the dream state, and in regards to my ex-lover doing candle work. And the number 56 is very significant because that is how old Wyclef Jean is. And come to find out, that's one of my favorite numbers. Backstory as to why the number 56 is one of my favorite numbers is because I used to watch Cartoon Network back in the day. And, I just always just thought, it wasn't really because of Cartoon Network, but I really liked it. And if you know anything about cartoons have a lot of predictive programming in it. Not all, but some does. Or they have a moral to the message in regards to the animation. Now, today I'm going to do something I have not done in regards to a live message. And we're going to collectively read Wyclef Jean's birth chart. You saw that? You saw that? So for a while now, since I've been dating, well, previously was dating my ex-lover, the Virgo, there's been this weird thing in regards of whenever the enemy doesn't like something that I'm supposedly doing and I'm within my birthright to do it, I would like, it's like, and I understand it now, specifically right now, because like, it'll do this thing. Well, you heard the sound, you seen the movement, you seen the paper move, right? It's like this growling noise, this weird noise that would happen every time I'm doing something in regards to my destiny, my calling would happen, and then there'll be like this air trying to protrude out of my body. God forbid my life. Even right now, my left eye is doing something, and it's like because the enemy doesn't like that people are going to be able to view this content, and you know what? Thank you, God. So the reason why I mentioned the assault that happened July 23rd, me seeing that guy in August and him not apologizing, him be doing malicious stuff like tagging me with the girl who assaulted me on a post and like around October time. It's because, like I said, the girl had assaulted me and there was literally nothing wrong with me at all, like in regards to my beauty and my face. I seen him in August and I was perfectly fine. Like literally like the next week I had saw him. Ironically, I had saw him with his best friend, and usually like when I'm done, I'm done. I would have just kept moving forward, but like I kind of almost wanted to confront him. I wanted to see how he was going to act because he had not had spoken to me um after not apologizing to me about the scenario, and I had to apologize to him. So I felt confident in approaching him. And when I approached him, he became afraid, and then he tried to do something abusive that looked abusive to gain the attraction towards his best friend. And I was just like, wow. So I'm saying this to say I was looking fine in August, and then towards the end of August, my skin started doing this and this and this and this. And you can go look back to all my earlier videos because just in case you think I'm lying, and I'm not. You can go back to all my earlier videos before, like let's say July, from January to July. You will see that my face is perfectly fine. You can even go to the content I made on July 23rd, 24th, or so on and so forth that week, and you can see my face was perfectly fine. Because I felt as though when the person attacked me, and mind you, God had told me the person was possessed when they attacked me, right? My middle finger just started like somebody tried to like pinch it or poke it or something like that. Middle finger Gemini. Somebody was fucking with me. Somebody wanted to have sex with me. I don't know. Howsoever, when the woman had previously attacked me on July 23rd, you, right here is where she attacked me at my throat. Mercury placement, the ability to communicate, the ability to speak, something that I know I does, but like certain people in that environment, including that previous ex lover, because like I don't think my previous ex lover, the Virgo man, had a problem with me, doing this type of work. But what it was that like whenever he would try to discredit me or make me look a certain type of way, I would do a reading, not thinking nothing of him, and it would be like exposing his lies, and he did not like that. So he tried to keep harassing me in these weird tactics and ways. Now, previously, then my skin been doing this and this. Like, you see, this is healed up. I had these all over my face. I had these all over my face. Now, mind you, I know this is a variation of the previous ex lover, the Virgo, because whenever he wanted me to be in collaboration in a project with him in regards to my career, he would tell me 2 to 3 days beforehand. Now, he has a prominent Gemini placement, but my Gemini placement supersedes his. Howsoever, he would tell me 2 to 3 days before the event every time. And 2 to 3 days before the event, I would start getting acne like this. Every time. Music videos, club appearances, I would be having acne on my face, and I would just tell myself, you know what? I'm beautiful without the acne. I'm beautiful with the acne. It really don't change anything. I'm not somebody who's prone to acne. I'm actually somebody who previously in my adolescence was attacked with voodoo to produce acne on my face while I was a child. So like I never thought like I would see something like that again. So I knew somebody was doing voodoo on me, but I just needed the facts so I could do what I gotta do. So yeah, there's that. I was gonna say something, but anyway, we're supposed to be reading Wycliffe John's birth chart right now because he had been in communication with Wycliffe John for a while now. Wycliffe John is native to the state where I'm from. He is Haitian, just like the ex-lover I had, but at the same time, I noticed something. I went to go. So Wycliffe John, the reason I'm doing the message, Wycliffe John came into my news feed in regards to that man because I blocked him. And mind you, after I blocked him, this is when this weird acne had came, looking like I had got a black eye, a bruise, or into a fight, altercation, something like that. Mind you, I'm not somebody prone to always be fighting people. So it's like, oh my gosh, it could only come from one person. Now, let's pause for a moment before we go into Wycliffe John's birth chart. So I took the liberty of looking up the woman who attacked me birth chart. Thanks to my ex-lover, the Virgo man. Thank you. Because he was trying to hide her from me for a while. And then when he tagged me in that post, I got to get all the information I needed. I looked up her birth chart. I'm going to just tell you two prominent zodiac signs she has. The woman that attacked me, so ironic, she was a Gemini. She's a Gemini sun sign. So Gemini Leo. Gemini Leo prominent placement of the ex-lover Virgo I was previously dating. All right. So point of contact. So that let me know that what she did is what he was doing either to me in the spiritual previously or what he wanted to happen to me in physicality. Period. And we're going to reverse Uno on that bitch. Now, her moon sign is a Pisces 12th house. How could you be in the music industry wanting to progress and you have a friend who has a Pisces 12th house? Very foolish. Very foolish. Now, let's get into Wycliffe John's birth chart. So, all right. Wycliffe John and his sun sign placement, both Western and Vedic, is Libra. Wycliffe John is a Libra sun sign placement. So, one thing I've learned about Libras is that I wouldn't say Libras necessarily have a choice, but they kind of does in regards to being an authoritative figure. Um, so if he has Libra, it's a very significant that he might have the other two authoritative zodiac embodiments and zodiac signs, that would be Taurus and or Aquarius. If he's a celebrity, I would guess he, no matter what kind of celebrity he is, he would have Aquarius in his birth chart, because that would be uncommon if he didn't. But howsoever, what I learned about Libras is that Libras, that you can be a good person or you can be a bad person. If you're a good Libra, you're an evolved Libra. If you're a bad person and you're a Libra, that means you're not in the capability of your Libra embodiment to its fullest, and you'll be walking around this earth as an Aries, an unevolved Aries at that, causing chaos and manipulation everywhere you go. So remember what I just said about the female who assaulted me, right? Now, so he's a Libra, Western and Vedic, seventh house placement. So that means just with his personality, he's able to gain partnerships with people. So anywhere he goes, he should easily make acquaintances. He should, just based off his personality. But this is why we do the birth chart. We're going to look more in depth into this. Because I knew for whatever reason Wycliffe John was a very interesting topic in regards to me, but I've never met him, never spoke to him. Only reposted videos of him promoting my ex-lover. Other than that, previously, I never spoke to him. His moon sign in Western is Capricorn, and Vedic is Sagittarius, 10th and 9th house. So, that is telling me that, first and foremost, his career has something to do with his mother. He is an industry child, so he might have somebody on his mother's side that has been in the industry. I don't know. And he could have, there's something about his mother and father dynamic growing up. There's something about, like, his father in specific. I don't know if his father's like a Sagittarius or something like that, or a fire embodiment, or his mother, take the message I resonate. But, like, it's something about, like, his mother, and I don't know if he had the best relationship with his mother, because something about his father very significant in regards to traveling. I don't know if he traveled a lot, but him traveling with his father in specific, or whoever his father figure is or was, really brings him a lot of luck. So it's saying that, so not necessarily his mother possibly wasn't good for him. No shade. It's saying his father was to be more valued. I don't know if his father's still alive. I'm just saying. His Mercury placement, how he communicates, who he talks to, Libra, 7th house. So this is somebody who could talk to themselves. I'm not seeing nothing about narcissism here. He could be a little misogynistic, maybe not. He Mercury, he communicates in the spiritual. He's somebody who could believe in, like, in spiritual context, deities and stuff like that. Spirit. But, like, I said this because, all right, so I had to block Wyclef Jean on, like, a whole bunch of social media platforms because I didn't know what was going on, and I'm not caring. But, like, the main reason why I blocked him is because, like, God was like, go to his YouTube page. It's something I'm gonna show you there. So I went to go look it up before I did the message. When I first, excuse me, yeah, he's going through some shit. When I first, he going through, it's about 2 scenarios he's going through right now. It's not looking too good. Speaking of not looking too good, what I noticed is that when he started coming in contact with my ex lover, the Virgo, and started doing promotional contact with him, and he started wearing these dark shades to hide his eyes. And I've been asking God this week. I'm like, God, show me who's the person who's responsible for this. And then he said, Wyclef John. Go look him up. Go see what's going on. I'm going to reveal to you later what really is going on. So before we get into that, I got to continue this birth chart reading. But anywho's, I go on Wyclef John's YouTube page, excuse me, and I see all these stars there. Now, when I was previously watching the tarot reader, she kept mentioning like you're the star in somebody's life or something, something, something. I'm just like, He has on his YouTube banner a whole bunch of stars. I believe it's like three musicians on there he went on tour with, and one of them was Rick Ross. Um, I hope you're hearing it. 'Cause these sounds only been occurring since I came in contact with my ex lover, the Virgo. I guess that's how he speaks. I never knew I was binding to him because I ain't married, not physically spiritual. So I'm not playing with him. Anywho's, if my ex lover or wife of whomever is the cause of these noises, I only wonder how God manifests through them for me. And then my eye starts feeling better. Great. Now I look on the banner, and then I noticed when I first started my spiritual journey in regards to Multimedia 7 American Heritage Society, um, I used to be really into symbols and symbolism. And one of the on my cards I used to have I didn't have like a visual video where you could see me and stuff like that. But one of my cards I drew the symbol of communication with the angelic realm, and it kind of looked like a crown on a staff with a circle on the bottom. I went on his page. It was a whole bunch of stars. Then it was Rick Ross, two other musicians, and it was that symbol, but it was flipped upside down. Now, mind you, it could mean something or something else. I don't know. But that correlation to me is that he, in fact, does not speak to the angelic realm. And he, in fact, speaks to spirits from the ethers or however you want to say it. But I'll give you one fun fact without reading the whole birth chart. He don't have a lick of Scorpio in his birth chart. So who are you contacting? What protection you have to be speaking to the dead? You don't. You don't have a lick of Scorpio in your chart. You cannot do that. People be wondering why their life be happening the way it happens, and not saying he's not living a fulfilled life. But honestly, with where we're going on, I don't think it's as fulfilled as he think he wants it to be. And that's because you contacting either practitioners or you're doing possible candle work or you're doing something to conjure up spirits, and you don't have a lick of Scorpio in your chart. He don't like I said that. But it's the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could have just, to be honest, I ain't gonna say that on here. But I could, but like I could did what I wanted to do with this, and then not said nothing. But God said this is an educational moment for everybody involved. Venus, his Venus, here we go. Because like I said, in regards to that Mercury, he had Libra 7th house, Virgo 6th house, Western and Vedic. So that means he talks about himself a lot. I was like, he probably is a little misogynistic, but I didn't want to say that for sure because I don't really know. Howsoever, God bless you. Howsoever, his Venus is Libra 7th house, Virgo 6th house. That could be, so he could really like somebody. He really into health and fitness possibly. He really into the spiritual. He really likes the spiritual stuff. Howsoever, you don't gotta lick a scorpion in your chart. Do not be talking to the deceased and the dead. They will attack you. I'm telling you this, sir. I don't even know what's really going on right now for me to be reading this birth chart, but God wants me to let you know. If you contact any deceased person, they will attack you, Wyclef Jean. If you were wondering. Howsoever, his Venus being Libra, 7th house, Virgo, 6th house, and he's a Libra, is giving self absorbed. I don't want to say narcissistic, but howsoever his Mercury is the same placement with Libra still being there, so it could be a little. He could either be egotistical or he could be narcissistic. Take the message how it resonates for you. I don't know him personally, so only people who really know him would know if I'm telling the truth or not. If you came in contact with him, only you would know if I'm telling the truth or not. I have not met this man in real life. I have not spoken to this man. Nothing. Now, let's go to his Mars. Mars, Capricorn, 10th house, Sagittarius, 9th house. Same placements as his moon signs in regards to his 4th house, in regards to his family and his mother. Very significant. So, he don't like his father. He don't like father figures. He don't like doing fatherly things. Yeah, he don't like that. I'm saying that. Um, he have a weird relationship with his parents because it don't look like he like neither one of them. But if it came down to it, he would use the fuck out of his father. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. I gotta say that. Cause I really appreciate Autumn in the comment section really telling me that stuff because I already know I'm beautiful. I already know I'm gorgeous. I already know what I deserve and what I don't deserve. You know, and when you guys get on here on any platform and y'all, reassure me of that without me asking, that is so wonderful. And God bless y'all for that. Anywho, let's go to Jupiter. How this man will receive his luck. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How would you receive your luck? Because my whole thing is like, he is a celebrity. Howsoever, why is he not at his fullest potential? We're going to get into it. Let's look at his Jupiter. How would this man gain luck? Now, granted, whoever sees this video, if they are do with this information that you want, because God told me to read this man's birth chart. When I read people's birth chart, I do not usually tell the whole collective, the whole world, what's going on. And if you know anything about me, I have my own narration of birth charts. My birth chart readings are very, very precise. I told my ex-lover that, let me show you how God works. Let me pull out the birth chart reading real quick. I told my ex-lover when we first started dating, because I was just so happy he did something. He did something for me. I don't remember what it was. I said, let me read your birth chart. He was skeptical about it. I read it. And then I didn't read his full birth chart. He should have let me read his full birth chart, but he wasn't. He ain't know no better. So I did a career read for him, and I told him, oh my gosh, I see that, like, God was talking to me. He was like, you're going to Summer Jam. You're going to Summer Jam. You're going to perform at Summer Jam. And he was excited about it, I guess, to a certain extent. But I don't know if he really believed. I don't know. But I was excited for him. So I was like, I can't wait. Just dating somebody and being compassionate to the person, and you do a reading for them, and you tell them in regards to their career that they're going to perform at Summer Jam. I was waiting for the day he got the call that he was going to Summer Jam, whether I was going to be there or not, just to be like, I'm so happy this prediction happened for you. What happened was he was doing things behind the scenes that God did not appreciate towards me. God did not appreciate how he was dealing with me in the relationship, so he took the prophecy away from him. Not only did God take the prophecy of him going to Summer Jam to perform away from him, remember the abuser I was telling you about that's his colleague? So them two had some weird stuff going on where they were like childhood friends, but they was beefing, but they didn't do the same thing in their career field. But they had they had something like that going on. So the abuser went to go side instead of being in part, because while I was dating my ex-lover, the Virgo, the abuser, he was envious, jealous that he was dating me, so he decided to go team up with another artist somewhere, and that same artist the abuser was hanging with went to go perform at Summer Jam. And then my ex lover went to go work with the dude who performed at Summer Jam. Like that was gonna make a difference. Anywho's, but that is just an example of how I witnessed with my own two eyes how God operates in regards to you being malicious towards a man or woman of God who is trying to bless you. And I was just like, wow. Next, now his Jupiter is himself and his spiritual beliefs. You know, that's actually wonderful. Howsoever, the Jupiter placement, Holy Spirit coming in. The Jupiter placement is Libra 7th house, Virgo 6th house. Now, where have we seen that placement for it? Jupiter, Venus, Mercury. The only way for him to gain luck is through his mother or any maternal figure. So basically, his life lesson. I didn't even get to the Saturn placement yet. So just from this narration, Wyclef Jean's life lesson is to, I don't know what his mother and his relationship was, to either forgive his mother or through some sort of variation of alchemy, you know, get married or conceive children with another woman so he has maternal figures or have maternal figures in his life that would help him become very fortunate in different aspects of his life. Howsoever, Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius. And the only places we've seen these Sagittarius placements in regards to these gifts, there's something about the relationship between his mother and his father. Maybe his father wasn't around like that. I don't know. Maybe his father didn't treat his mother good. And maybe he resented his mother because of that. Mind you, I don't know. I didn't do my research on Wyclef Jean. I really did not care to do so. I'm not going to hold you. He is a human being that is not the first top priority on my list. No shade. So I'm just channeling right now. So it could be some truth to it. It could be elaborated more. Just not on this channel. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, and that's it. So the only way even if he's into spirituality, his spirituality can be stunted in growth if he does not make peace with the woman in his life, particularly maternal figures. It could be his mother. It could be other women in his family. If he has conceived children, the mother figures who conceived a child for him, all these women have the ability to halt any luck and expansion in this man's life. Hey, I'm a Virgo. This is what, and I'm about to get into this. Let's go to Saturn placement. Let's see where his karma is. Now, karma. What is this zodiac embodiment with regard to karma? Capricorn and Pisces. So you had to learn something from the past about your father. Not only learn something about your father, Wyclef Jean, you had to make sure whatever he did wrong, you don't follow in his footsteps. His Saturn is Taurus 2nd house, Aries 1st house. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Taurus, Aries, sun sign placement. How you doing? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that, but like, you gotta admit, this is very comical. I was having a conversation with God before I did this message, right? And I was like, you know, I understand different minorities in regards to divination, in regards to especially voodoo. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, when I was younger, I had a female best friend who was Haitian, and one of the reasons we're not friends to this day is because she tried to start an argument with me about something I didn't care about. She was saying something about Haitians started voodoo, that originated of voodoo. It's not Africans, like random, just mad random. But I found out that she tried to do voodoo on me. That was the reason why, and it wasn't working. So like, anywho, so she became frustrated and was just acting out, and because whatever voodoo she was trying to do, it didn't bounce back on her. Anywho, and I've literally seen it happen to her. Anywho, because she tried to do beauty work. God forbid in my life. That's exactly why what happened to her and her family happened. Anywho, anywho, mm, she people do not like how that woman's breath stink, and not me. I'm not even gonna pull out the. Anywho, so your Saturn is in regards to, all right. So Wycliffe John. All right, no. Before I get into what I was about to say, I was about to say basically before I did that rant about my previous ex Haitian bestie, I was talking God about like I understand that a lot of Haitians, not everybody, but a lot of Haitians are into voodoo. I don't have nothing against nobody doing voodoo. I don't have nothing against any ethnicity. I know a lot of Haitians. A lot of Haitians is cool, some not. And that's with any culture, any ethnic background. Some people are cool, some people are not. Howsoever, I have multiple conversations with God about the country of Haiti, but I'm not gonna get into it on this topic. Howsoever, with knowing all the Haitians I know, and then like seeing what they go through, at like the aftermath of voodoo being done on them, or them doing voodoo to people, and it don't work out in their best interest. It's just like for my culture, I'm just gonna talk for a moment, because I'm African. Um, what I've noticed in contrast of Haitian voodoo and practicing and African divination and voodoo, etc., is that like in my culture, from my own experiences, I can't talk for nobody else. In my own experiences, the practitioner, the man of God, the woman of God, they'll be like, if you're trying to do something to somebody, they'll be like, don't do this to this person. Yeah, you can do this to this person. Like, but I don't know if they be telling y'all that when y'all be going to these practitioners in regards to voodoo and the Haitian culture, because like there is literally people on this earth, human beings, you cannot do wrong to, and then you think you're gonna be walking this earth and it's gonna be all fine for you. It like I've met people. I'll use this. I've met somebody in my experience. It's been a few people. I met somebody in my experience who went to a man of God and was like they want to do X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, and the man of God told them no, don't do it, and like literally they was going through tower moment after tower moment after tower moment because they was too much in their ego and pride to listen to the man of God. Anywho, Saturn, Taurus, second house in regards to your finances, in regards to your marriage, in regards to any form of judgment, in regards to authoritative leaders. You know, Taurus is also an embodiment, low key, in regards to authoritative leaders about the kind of in regards to the judicial system or the cops or stuff like that. Anywho, take the message how it resonates. Every zodiac embodiment has multiple different embodiments, but I'm just giving you a general overview of like. And guess what? The embodiment of Taurus, YouTube. And if you know, you know. So these are not good options. I'm not saying options. These are not good characteristics to have in regards to karma. Now, you can have good or bad karma. Saturn also is Aries' first house. First house has to do with your personality. So if you're lying, you're being manipulative, if you're having a deceitful personality, it's going to affect your finances. It's going to affect your stability. It's going to affect your value amongst people. So Aries, to be in regards to your Mars placement. Let's look at that real quick. Your Mars is in Capricorn, 10th house, your career. Sagittarius, 9th house, traveling, being a parent. Something about your father. or who's your father figure in the music industry, or being a father figure in the music industry. All right, so like let's say, for example, just hypothetically, let's say Wycliffe John is a person who mentors other men in the music industry, right? This man would possibly lie to these people, manipulate these people, form some sort of weird occult group, fraternity, knowing the whole time he don't got that Scorpio placement to even formulate an occultic group. Wycliffe John is the type of person, based on his birth chart, to work with groups of men individually, or in a group, knowing he's supposed to be gaining luck by working with females. Yeah. I heard somebody say, for real. Wycliffe John. I hope you and that ex lover of mine did not try to do a money ritual on me, because I'm gonna have to send it back and get a return on my investment. Now, his karma also, if it was bad karma, like, because it is coming off bad karma here, I ain't about to even hold you. Because if it was good karma, it would be like money, like his Saturn is regards to money connected to his business or businesses. All right. Howsoever, that depends on his personality. And if he gets quick tempered, if Wycliffe John manipulates people, he lies to people, he would immediately start losing resources in regards to his stability and finances. And I'm gonna get into that in regards to his Lilith placement. Now, Lilith is that zodiac. I said zodiac. Lilith is that placement in your birth chart that you supposedly not supposed to like, things you don't like. Howsoever, all right, I'm gonna just say, so his Lilith placement on both Western and Vedic is Cancer, fourth house. He don't like his mother. I don't know if his mother's still alive. I don't know if she passed away, but I would not. I would be a fool to not say on this birth chart reading that if Wycliffe John ever had the chance, he would sacrifice his mom. That's what his Lilith placement is telling me. Wycliffe John could have tried to sacrifice his mom to get into the industry, because based on his birth chart, he would be able to get into the industry only solely because of his father or someone in his father's lineage. His mother, however, in regards to what relationship they have, that man will be so quick to sacrifice her, because he needs his father. And he needed his father to get into the industry. Howsoever, he cannot gain money without maternal mother figures in his life. How ironic. North Node, Pisces 12th house, Aquarius 11th house. I'm gonna just say this right now. Wycliffe John, if you have ever participated in coming against not only me, but of a specific person of interest of mine, I promise you, every day of your life is going to be hard. I will ask God to give you no. Matter of fact, let's pray. In the mighty name of God, in Jesus' name, God, I thank you so much today for this information you're giving me and the collective and the world in regards to Wycliffe John. I don't know why or how or what is going to happen in regards to this message of this person, Wycliffe John. I thank you now, and I expect to see results. God, if Wycliffe John has ever used his eyes, used his resources, used his mouth to speak against me and my life and my career, I ask you, God, to return every evil intention and to back to sender to this man. I ask you, God, to show me results that my enemies have been dismantled right now. God, continue to bless me. Continue to bless the people who I'm connected to who genuinely care for me. Continue to bless the people who ultimately want what's in my best interest and wants what's good for me. Anybody affiliated with Wyclef John who are terrorizing not only myself, people in connection to me who genuinely care for me, and also the point of contact, any person this man Wyclef John has ever manipulated or lied to or tried to cause whatever chaos to, I immediately ask to see results in regards to my enemies never prevailing with no mercy. In the mighty name of God I pray. Amen. Now, if you wonder why I just did a prayer, his north node is Pisces 12th house, Aquarius 11th house. Before I say what I'm about to say, now earlier in the message, you were wondering why I was talking about this woman, this random Gemini woman who assaulted me, because I had to tell that whole story to let you know when God told me in real life timing that woman was possessed. And you can go back to previous messages where I've talked about this. I read her birth chart, and I found out that she had a Pisces 12th house moon sign. Wyclef John has the North Node Pisces 12th house. He doesn't like that I'm able to see the correlation between his possible spell work. But my whole thing is, if I don't know you, I never met you, but you know me. It's almost like that. What was that even? Now, what is very hilarious about this, it has a Pisces 12th house. If you know anything about the Pisces environment, Pisces in regards to music, Pisces in regards to pleasure, Pisces in regards to um sex. He has Pisces 12th house. This would indicate either he is an enemy to the music industry, he's not supposed to be doing music, but he's a celebrity because of it, because of Aquarius 11th house. So he's supposed to be a celebrity, but nobody in the music industry like him. Before I did this message, I literally said, I have a hunch that YouTube was going to be happy I did this message. I had discernment. I was like, I was talking to God, I think people are going to be happy I'm doing this message. Now, and I also said, there's something about Erykah Badu in him, whether directly or indirectly. Now, we're going to get into a quick dream catcher message. Yeah, there's more. He don't like that I'm looking into this stuff because I'm telling the truth. And I heard exactly. So, I had a dream in the year 2024 when... I had a dream in the year 2024 where when I was originally dating, all right, so I had a few dreams. I was actually thinking about this one dream today. I had a dream that just basically was a confirmation now, and basically, Wyclef John, if he's not currently, he's about to have a court case. I had a dream that a man didn't want me looking into something, and he punched me in the face directly right here in the dream state. And in the dream state, I felt the impact of it. And now, as I came closer to now doing this message, it's just a projection. Like right here is actually acne. For whatever reason has darkened up. Now this stuff has been happening to my skin ever since my ex-lover, the Virgo, partnered up with Wyclef John and did a promotional music video. I'm trying to figure out, if I wasn't in the music video, if I wasn't talking to my ex-lover, if I'm still not talking to my ex-lover, where is the bind? There is no bind. So God, I'm telling you now, because I already said this. God, if Wyclef Jean is the reason why all this acne has been happening to my face since August, do what you gotta do with no mercy. Because the skin gonna clear up. But I don't know if that man gonna live. Anywho, and Wyclef Jean, if you're not the person responsible, I suggest you find the person responsible unless you want to take credit for, the spiritual crime. Now, the dream I'm going to discuss, something about last month, November, very significant for Wyclef Jean. He did something. Confirmation. So I had this dream in the year 2024 when I first started dating my ex-lover, the Virgo. In the dream, it was a vehicle. And I saw the perspective, so just like behind the scenes, I saw the perspective of two women in the front seat driving the car. Now, what was weird was, now, all I'm going to say is, instead of seeing like a road, instead of seeing like where I was going and stuff like that, the windshield was like a pinkish, purplish, maybe not purplish, but like a pinkish hue, looking like kind of psychedelic. Go look at Wyclef Jean's banner on his YouTube page. Mind you, I did this Dreamcatcher message already. So if somebody wants to, if you're theory conspiracy or conspiracy theorist, you can go onto my channel and see when I actually did that Dreamcatcher message. Anywho's, so there's two women there. So women could be Cancer, Virgo, very significant. So two women were in the driver and passenger seat of the front of the car. Now, I've talked to you all the time about driving. First of all, the fact that the windshield is saying that somebody did some sort of voodoo with some food. Anywho's, you see, like, first my right, on my left eye was doing something. Now my right eye is like, it's like somebody want to call my eyes out, and you could never, just that type of spiritual crime could get you off and unalived on this planet. I'm not even trying to be funny. Let alone if something, I'm gonna tell you this now. My Virgo placement is more prominent than yours. He think he getting away with something, but he not. So since my Virgo placement is more prominent than yours, even being a prophetess, even being a spiritualist, even being an occultist, with the lineage that I have coming from Mama Africa, what everybody scientifically agrees. I have to say it like this because like sometimes people, where scientifically everybody agrees that everybody came from, regardless of your belief in voodoo or not. Just think about that for a moment. I'm Americanized. I was born here, but I'm full-blooded African. Just think about that for a moment. So if you attack me with everything I just said, if you try to attack me using spiritual word, even just saying something that you think was going to hurt me, and it happens in physicality, even if I have a dream in 2024 and this year 2025, it tried to manifest from just projection, just know you like definitely there's no reversal you can do. I just take bribes. I ain't gonna hold you. But anywho, dang, could I say that? Yes, I could say that. I'm socialist to a certain extent. I was joking with God not too long ago. I was just like, sometimes people be doing stuff to me previously, and I just be like, God, like what? I remember something like when my abuser had did something to me, very heinous, and I was just like, I remember it was like 2 or 3 days. The screen literally got brightened. Excuse me. I was like, it was like 2 or 3 days after my abuser had did something to me. I'm just like, after like the second day, I'm like, yo, like this man offered me a bribe yet, and he committed a crime. I'm like, what the? I'm like, yo, these y'all is doing stuff wrong. Back to the Dreamcatcher message. So like, the fact that the windshield was not clear, you don't see no road, no direction. Even if I had to wait till now to see the YouTube banner on Wycliffe John's page. Oh, somebody's telling him about the live right now. 5 likes in the chat. Very happy. Oh, Sean, do what you gotta do. Not the Wycliffe John though. Oh, wait, no. Oh, Sean, yes. Yes, he's about to have some problems with some women right now. So, woo! So they want me to say, God, my spirit team wants me to say that Wycliffe Jean got some sort of weird kink where I'm hearing like in public places or something like that, he'll be whacking off to women. Anywho's, yeah, I'm right. Anywho's, the fact in the windshield you couldn't see no road, no direction, everything would go tells you everything you need to know about that man's life. Because now in context now, like knowing what I know now, and it's not even much because I did no research on this man. So 2 women in his car. Now, what I said about his birth chart, right? He needs women to, succeed in his life, to prosper, even financially. But somehow he always want to work with men. He being very stubborn about it. Man, it's all right. Because I believe he's very misogynistic. Do me a favor. If you ever got time, you want a good laugh, I guess. You want more validity in what I'm saying. I'm not going to tell you where to look. What I'm going to say is Wycliffe John dressed a certain type of way. Literally, Wycliffe John's fashion sense has changed since he met my ex-lover, the Virgo. He started trying to dress like him. Because soon I went on that channel, because I ain't looking for no Wycliffe John to be listening to. I went on his page to go see that band in the first video I seen. He had this all black outfit on. I'm just like, why he trying to dress like my ex-lover? If you know who I'm talking about in regards to his ex-lover, this Virgo man, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Go look at Wycliffe John. Look at the way he used to dress. Go look. I want to say, go look at Wycliffe John 2023, and then go look at Wycliffe John how he dressed 2025, and you tell me if you see a difference. Nobody. I'm not saying people don't rebrand, but at this big age of 56, trying to dress like a young nigga is. Woo! So, anywho, so Cancer Virgo embodiments, one in the driver's seat, one in the passenger seat. I could not see their faces. Howsoever, 2 women, 2 regardless Taurus. How you doing? How you doing? The platform we're on. I'll go be the guy. I'm good. And I'm good off that man. I wasn't caring about that bribe. Anywho's, but I don't know if it's even necessary now. I'm doing this live. Anywho's. Now, this could be a parallel message. So when I wasn't in the know, and my ex-lover, the Virgo, and this man with a Pisces North Node, which is also symbolic of a mother figure, him and that ex-lover could have been in partnership to some way and somehow try to go against him. And that's why the dream wasn't as clear, because I don't know that man. But now, like I said, the 2 women, 2 symbolic Taurus embodiment confirmed, because his banner is what I seen in the windshield, because what I seen. So now I'm in control of the scenario. So now I control your destiny. See, I ain't even want to be that blatant like that, but this is what's going to have to happen. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I briefly read the birth chart before I did this message. And with the zodiac embodiment, is very significant in regards to this message because I made sure to write down the time, the date, everything, even though it is today while I'm doing this message. Leo Sagittarius came up. That is the zodiac. I don't see no Leo in your birth chart. I know who has Leo in my birth chart, in their birth chart though. That ex-lover Virgo of mine. So I don't know if my ex-lover was trying to keep me away from Wyclef Jean. I don't know if Wyclef Jean got an issue with me or not. But my ex made him an issue because I don't know that man. And I don't know if that man knows me. So, Wyclef Jean, if you ever get this message, and trust and believe, if I do a message like this publicly on the platform and you think Wyclef Jean not going to see the message, if he don't see the message, he's going to get a dream about the message. Personally. So, I'm going to say this one time. Whether you got a problem with me or not, Wyclef Jean, I'm going to tell you how to resolve the issue. The Virgo man. Do what you got to do. I'm not implying nothing else more than that. Only you would know how to stop something bad from happening to you. And I say that very, very humbly because I needed you to know when I started this message, I don't know you. I don't look for your content. Based on American Heritage Society numerology, number decoding, based on the today, the date, the time, they said Leo Sagittarius. Those are prominent placements. That ex-lover of mine, the Virgo man. So I'm telling you, that's the common denominator here. So in the dream, some sort of manipulation and chaos was going on in between this ex-lover and Wyclef Jean. This ex-lover Virgo and this Wyclef Jean. Some sort of manipulation was going on in regards to the tour, I guess he had with Rick Ross and them two other artists. And now, until my face gets cleared up, until y'all start projecting negativity to me, not my ex-lover, the Virgo man, not you, Wyclef Jean, will tour. You will not tour. You will not receive money for no musical endeavor. I am asking the music industry to blacklist you as of now until the situation is rectified and I feel as though we have an understanding of what to and what not to do. Your privileges are revoked in every form of aspected way. Predominantly your finances, predominantly the music industry. Predominantly if you have maternal mother figures in your life, we're going to use them as a point of contact to go against you. Since I know that's a very large aspect. And whether your father is alive or not, we're going to close them gifts that from his side of family, his lineage of yours, from you manifesting. So, and while that was going on the frenzy of the car in the dream, I saw a Pisces man, that's how I would describe my dream, at the... all right, before I get into that, remember I said it was two women in front of the car. It could be Cancer, Virgo, very significant placements and embodiments. And mind you, I said the ex-lover is the ex-lover. All right, so hold on. Let's talk about birth chart real quick. Two women in the front seat of the car in the dream in 2024. Cancer, Virgo environment is very significant. My ex-lover is the Virgo, but the ex-lover is the Virgo. So what was going on is they was using each other, right? In this partnership. It was like, I don't want to say equal give and take, but like, my ex-lover was using Wyclef Jean to promote himself of being around celebrities. And Wyclef Jean was doing spell work on my ex-lover to alchemize off of him. You see how that works? Not that it works like in actuality, but I'm just you see what partnering with the wrong person does. You play both. Y'all both played yourself. Now, in the car in a dream, that's in regards to your spiritual life, your home life, and your career. Three strikes, you're out. And I had a dream about that reference also. Now, it was three men I seen. Ooh. It is I know my ex lover the Virgo to like if it was him or somebody else, he would choose himself. But from the indications of the dream I'm having, Wyclef John not playing none of that. Wyclef John will put himself before you. Oh my gosh. Anywho, so the person in the passenger seat would be the observer. The observer could be Cancer or Virgo. However, the only Cancer placement, ex lover, if you ever watched this, because I know your birth chart, Wyclef don't like you. He's actually very jealous of you. So you've been working with somebody who been doing you wrong behind the scenes. If you've been wondering why all that bad stuff been happening to you, confirmation. And send this back onto my enemy. Now, I don't know if his mother, I don't know if Wyclef Jean's mother is alive or not. I just heard somebody yell, and they sound foreign, like particularly Haitian. That's funny. Um, I don't know if his mother is alive or deceased, but they're saying that she left. I don't know what that means. Anyways, ooh, Holy Spirit start talking. She doing everything in her power to make sure that man don't prosper. Wyclef Jean. Anywho's, so I seen a she's saying she don't like the my Virgo ex lover. She don't like him. That's very interesting. Oh, the mother is saying she's doing something in regard. So, like I said, Wyclef Jean was using my ex lover, the Virgo man, to prosper in some sort of alchemy way. And he was, I don't even know if he was realizing it, probably didn't. I heard while I just did that, and it's like, there's an issue. Because as I'm speaking about, send this back on my enemies. As I'm speaking about this, um, my ex lover, the Virgo, is receiving this information. And Wyclef Jean don't like that. Meanwhile, Wyclef Jean's mother, whether alive or not, is specifically not attacking Wyclef Jean, but attacking my ex lover, the Virgo man, because he knows how important the Virgo man is to Wyclef Jean. Oh, y'all got a lot going on. No negativity. So like I'm saying, so in the backseat of the car, now you need to understand in the dream, first and foremost, if you're not in control of the steering wheel in your own car in the dream, that is the issue. That means somebody else got to control your life. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm in control. Now, I seen the Pisces man, and he's in the back seat behind the passenger seat, right? So that would mean that Wyclef, as of now, woo, so Wyclef, your destiny was to come in contact with me some way, somehow, because of everything that's been going on up until this point. Look at God. So he was sitting behind the passenger seat of the car, so that would make him a passenger. That would make him an observer also, because the back seat is point of view. You observing what's going on, but the thing is, Wyclef was not looking to what was going on in front of him. Wyclef was not paying attention to that. He was not in control of his own destiny. Wyclef was not paying attention, literally, previously. Well, Wycliffe. So what had happened was in the dream, you saw me or the mother or whatever maternal figure take the message out. He saw I saw myself, me, or another woman, and turned upside down behind the driver's seat, face down, buttocks up. You know, American Heritage Society. Got my basically ass in his face. Not no pun intended. No actuality. Please no. I don't want it. I don't want Wyclef John. Not my type. Okay, more comments to myself. Howsoever, when I was or the woman was in the dream and she was like bent upside down behind the driver's seat, that was almost like God getting me ready for this moment because they thought they was so much in control of the scenario, and then I was about to come in. Like, so whomever was just warming up the seat for me for this moment, actual moment right now. Howsoever, when I was facing towards like a vent, you know, in some cars, in the middle console to in the back seat, they'll have like the air conditioner or the heating system. It looked like a vent. So basically, I didn't know what it meant then, but what it's saying now is that all that stuff I narrated, me venting everything that happened previously up until this point, and then coming to this conclusion that it has something to do with my ex lover, the Virgo, and Wycliffe John is all you have to know. And also mention that Wycliffe John was in the dream was not, and I'm saying Wycliffe John because sir, that ex lover Virgo don't got a lick of Pisces in his chart. Not that I know of, not that I recall. And knowing that your Pisces placement is 12th house, and your like it's your North Node, your rising sign, so that'd be a prominent placement. I don't know my ex lover to have a prominent Pisces placement. I don't. Yeah, my ex lover does not have a Pisces placement at all. I know what I'm talking about. He does not have a prominent Pisces placement, so that just leaves one other person, you, Wycliffe John. And I saw him in the dream, and he was staring at me. He wasn't looking at the person who was driving the car. He wasn't looking at the person who was in the passenger seat being the observer. He was specifically looking at me. He was look. It's even almost to like, see, Wycliffe John could have had a prophecy or prediction given to him in regards to me, whether he knew me or not. It was like, um, yeah, this is going to put you in your destiny, and it might not be that great. Because I also had a dream, didn't know it was on Wycliffe John. I spoke about it already, and I think it's like a generalized message in regards to like certain enemies with this Pisces placement or something like that. Because yeah, so in the dream, it's like I was sitting on top of my business. I was standing on business, I quote unquote you would say, paraphrasing, and it was like Judgment Day, and because I'm a Taurus embodiment, it's like I was bringing judgment onto a person, and like it was a Pisces placement, and it was a Pisces Sagittarius placement because the person came into my vicinity, and travel is Sagittarius embodiment, Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius Mars in his birth chart. So Sagittarius in regards to fourth house, mother figure that I am. Sagittarius in regards to Mars, you tried to start an issue, manipulation, chaos, something, some lie in regards to me. And today is Judgment Day, Wycliffe Jean, for you. Because when he came into the vicinity in the dream, what happened was before he could even get to me, because before I even did this message, I said, thank you, God, because God will literally tell me something like this before somebody tries to do some BS. And I was even thanking God before I did the message. Cause I'm like, thank you, God, because I don't know what's going on. But I know if I'm going to do this message to this extent of reading this man's birth chart, that means he was about to do something stupid. So in the dream, the Pisces man, his rising sign, who he actually is, tried to come towards me while I was giving him judgment, and what happened was a dark black hole appeared beneath his feet, and he fell into the hole like it was not even quicksand, like just disappeared into the abyss. Now I told you this man don't got a lick of Scorpio in his chart, so I feel as though that means all these spirits that he been contacting and talking to, or became, well, got caught up in psychosis or something, probably, God forbid, on my life, have taken a hold of him. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about him and his mental health soon. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say is, when you look at Wyclef Jean online, and they give like the overview of everything and stuff like that. I only looked him up just to find his birthday. All right, that's all I needed. And then they just said his age, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. 56. That's my favorite number. Um, One of my favorite numbers, but like originally my favorite number. Some ooh. Let me find out you're not about to have another birthday, White Glove. Anywho's, remember I said his birth chart has everything to do with he's supposed to work with women rather than men. He really, if he worked with men, he's really supposed to work with men from his father's side of the family. Howsoever, from my perspective, he only likes to work with men. So I find it really interesting. And mind you, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I'm not. I'm really not trying to be funny. I don't know if he is related to my ex lover, like biologically. Like, I really don't know because I like his name Wyclef Jean John. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Howsoever, that's a common name in Haitian, ethnicity and stuff like that. So I don't know if like that's an incestuous type of situation or like y'all really is related. So like, I'm just like, so like I even like before I even had the time to be like, you know, I don't want to offend like my ex lover's family and nothing like that because I really don't know if y'all related or not. Howsoever, it got to be like this message had to be done. Um, anyway, so like, what God was showing me was like, this Wyclef John, like, this is how interesting this person is. This nigga, excuse me. This man or whomever, altitude or both in the parent, tried to spiritually attack me and then wanted to watch their results as to what would happen as they were spiritually attacking me, thinking I wasn't going to find out. And that's the best kind of result for me, the pending result, because God works very quickly on my behalf all the time. And now that I know, that is an instant back to sender. Everything. I don't even know, because I only know about since 2024. If this been going on for longer than 2024 in regards to me, just know simultaneously every day, every year that you were trying to do anything negative against me is going to come to you all at once. So, anyways, when I looked up the overview of Wyclef Jean online, I seen that a particular woman popped up and was the only woman in reference to him. Besides, like, I didn't go in depth into the research and the biology and stuff like that. Is it not biology? Excuse me, bibliography. Biography. I think it's biography. I don't know why I said bibliography. Anywho's, and Miss Lauren Hill with a face, and I'm just like, oh, he did work with Lauren Hill. Not only did he work with Lauren Hill, he dated her, and I remember watching the documentary about it a few years ago, and I wondered because a few years ago, Holy Spirit, Lauren Hill was made very very apparent to me, and this is before 2024. And God wanted me to learn more about Lauren Hill, but then when I started like posting her music online and stuff like that, this weird energy, the same weird energy that would come about when my ex lover, with the Virgo man, would have me repost Wyclef stuff. Yo, soon as I said Lauren Hill, Holy Spirit came. Soon as I said Wyclef Jean, it disappeared. That's all you got. I'm telling you, that man do not value God. That man do not. I'm not gonna say he don't believe in him. I don't know, but he don't worship God. I'm telling you now. To not have a, not sorry. To not have a lick of Scorpio in your birth chart, and you worshiping things outside the earthly realm besides God, it's very foolish. This is the type of man that always come in contact with trickster spirits. God forbid my life. Now, while I was reviewing Lauryn Hill, her biography, I'm gonna tell you what I learned about Lauryn Hill. Talented woman. I don't know. I don't remember too much, but this is what I remember from distinctly. Talented woman. Went to the music industry. Worked with Wyclef Jean. Got into a relationship with him. Didn't work out for various reasons. Right here, Sagittarius. Wyclef. I don't know if it's Wyclef or my ex lover, the Virgo. They are like they is going through something right now. So as I'm speaking, yeah. Um. Oh, my ex lover. When I used to be around him, and I would talk to him sometimes about certain things, he would start having headaches randomly. And I didn't understand what that was, but I knew something was weird. I knew it was like something spiritual, but it wasn't me, and I never was able to understand it. It's Wyclef. Wyclef got some sort of I'm correct. Wyclef did a binding spell on my ex lover. That's a man at that, because he wanted to keep him tied to him for finances. Ironically, so basically, ex lover, if you ever see this video, just know Wyclef Jean did a binding spell on you, not for you to receive money, but for him to siphon energy from you. How ironic. But anywho, I seen that Lauryn Hill, after dating Wyclef Jean and trying to move on with her life and get back into music, she didn't join a occult group. People were calling her crazy. She didn't cut her hair off, all types of weird stuff. You see, if you ever want to know when spell work is manifesting in somebody's life, God forbid on my life, that is usually what happens. You know your hair is your glory. If a cult got you cutting off your hair, you already know you not part of the right shit. But you know, you wouldn't know if you're under spiritual attack and you're not like well versed in spirituality. So that's all I'm gonna say. But basically, I started like, I mean, if she happy, she happy. But like, I'm just saying, Lauryn Hill, you ever watch this? Yeah, Wyclef was spiritually attacking you. He mad. I even said that. I don't care. But what I realized is that the first thing that popped up in the overview they was talking about Wyclef Jean, and he wrote a memoir. And the first thing the only correlation they wrote about the overview in the memoir was about his ex-wife, and then they talked about Lauryn Hill and I guess his wife or ex-wife. I don't know if he's still married. Yes, he is married with children, because I seen it in the overview. Yeah, she leaving him. Yep, that's the message. I ain't really care to even do this. So, gotta do what you gotta do on my behalf. That's it. That's all.